guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've got this very pink toned look. I'm using new products because I went to the Gold Coast for a few days with my boyfriend because it was our 5-year anniversary, and I got to go to Sephora. I picked up a bunch of stuff, and in that was this gorgeous palette. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm completely in love. And we actually just got back from the Gold Coast today and I needed to film something immediately. So yeah, if you would like to see how I got this very pink toned look, nice halo eye, pink lips, please keep watching. Today I'm starting off by priming my face with the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. I'm just putting this in all of the areas where I have a lot of texture, like where I have acne and on my nose where I've got really large pores, and I'm just rubbing this in with my fingers. So today for foundation, I'm mixing the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation and the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, mostly because the Maybelline one is a little bit too light and the L'Oreal one is a little bit too dark, so it just evens out the color a little bit. And also I find that mixing the Maybelline one with really high coverage foundations that tend to get cakey just makes it a lot smoother and they last a bit longer throughout the day. So I'm just spotting this all over my face and then blending it in with a damp beauty blender. For concealer, I'm taking my brand new Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer and I'm lightening it with the Body Shop Lightening Drops because I got the wrong shade and it's way too dark, so yeah. And I'm just putting this on any areas where I have acne still peeking through, as well as under my eyes. And I'm just blending this in with a beauty blender again. To set under my eyes, I'm just taking my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, just because this gives it a little bit of a highlight and it makes my concealer a little bit less cakey. And then I'm just setting the rest of my face with my Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder. I'm just taking the darker shade from the e.l.f. contour palette and I'm using this to contour my cheekbones, jawline and forehead. And then I'm just taking the warmer toned shade and I'm putting that in pretty much all the same areas, but with a bigger, fluffier brush just to soften the contour a little bit and help it blend into the rest of my base a bit more seamlessly. For blush, I'm taking my NARS Orgasm Blush and I'm just putting this on my cheeks just above my contour and kind of just blending it into my contour. And for highlight, what else would I be using apart from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Gleam Glow Kit? And I'm just taking the shades Starburst and Crushed Pearl. I'm just putting this on the cheekbones, around my brows, my nose, my cupid's bow, and pretty much my entire face. For brows, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. I'm just brushing through them first with a spoolie, which just gets them in place, and I like to go darker on the tail end and kind of fade it towards the middle. I do have an in-depth brow tutorial coming pretty soon, so keep your eyes out for that. And then I'm just setting my brows with my Essence Make Me Brow Gel. Okay, to prime my eyes, I'm taking my Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Concealer. I'm just putting this all over the eyes and blending it out with a dense fluffy brush. And taking the beautiful Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just taking the shade Tempera to set that concealer on my lids. Now I'm just taking the shade Buon Fresco and I'm just using this as my transition shade, so I'm just lightly buffing that into the crease, making sure that everything is seamlessly blended. Next, I'm taking the shade Love Letter, which is my favorite shade in the palette. I'm just putting this shade on the inner and outer corners, making sure that I don't bring it onto the lid too much and I'm not bringing it too far into the crease, but I'm making sure it's nice and blended as I go as usual. The blending kind of took away the pink effect, so I just went back in with it again and blended it out again. And to deepen up those areas a bit more, I'm taking the shade Cypress Umber and I'm just putting this a little bit more precisely in those areas. And that kind of took away the pink tones again, so I'm just putting Love Letter back into those places and blending it out again. And I blended the shadows a little bit too high up and too far out, so I'm just cleaning up those areas a little bit with the foundation that's still on my beauty blender. And then I'm just placing that shade from the beginning, Tempera, on the brow bone just to clean that up a little bit more. Now for the shimmery goodness, I'm taking the shade Vermeer on a flat brush that I've wet with some setting spray just to make the shade pop a little bit more. I'm just placing this in the center of the lid where I left some space earlier with the previous shadows. And as usual, just going in and making sure that that's nice and blended into all of the other shadows. And then I'm just sweeping that beautiful shade Love Letter onto my lower lash line and then blending it out with the shade Buon Fresco. Next, I'm just taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner and I'm just doing a normal wing. Let me know if you would like an in-depth winged liner tutorial. I still struggle quite a bit with winged liner, but I feel like I've got it to a point where most of the time it works out for me. And then I'm just going to coat my top and bottom lashes with Benefit Roller Lash. I almost forgot an inner corner highlight, so I'm just going back in with Vermeer and putting that in my inner corners. For lashes, I'm taking my very well used Socialized Vixen lashes. Sorry for the change in lighting, my camera died as usual, so a little bit of time passed in between those clips. And I'm just going back in over the lashes with my tattoo liner just to make sure none of the glue is still showing. And to finish off the look for the lips, I'm using my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lovesick. And that completes this look. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that goodness as usual. And I've got so many more Modern Renaissance palette tutorials coming, so if you'd like to see them, then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss them. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, see you in my next video.